Are you struggling to maintain a consistent and active social media presence? Are you spending a lot of time creating great podcast or video content, but then find yourself with not enough time to promote those new episodes? Listen, I know how hard it can be to carve out even more time to talk about your latest post or episode when you've already devoted hours to it. But the fact is that distribution is the most important piece. As Mark Schaefer put it, the economic value of content that isn't seen is zero. So, how do we make sure that every great piece of content is shared and repurposed? That's what we're covering in today's episode of the MarTech Show.
The past is gone. Now's the future.
This is the MarTech Show, exploring today's marketing technology solutions. Social media, artificial intelligence, augmented reality.
Now's the future.
Content, SEO, email, analytics, listening, advertising, and more. I'm your host, Mike Allton, and I'm joined by agency owner and technology futurist Robin Dimond. Each episode explores the latest developments in marketing technology and shares new solutions and innovative approaches that you need to know about to grow your business today. And now, the rest of today's episodes. Welcome back to the MarTech Show, where Robin and I get to dish on what's shiny and new in the MarTech space, then do a deep dive into a specific platform or solution that can help you in your business today. Hey, Robin, how are you doing?
Fantastic. How are you today?
So good. We've got some really interesting news this weekend out of Meta headquarters in Menlo Park. Built on their Llama 3 large language model, Meta has released Meta AI, an AI-driven chatbot similar to ChatGPT from OpenAI or Gemini from Google. And it's a fascinating tool because it integrates text responses alongside image generation, and Meta.ai gives you a web-based interface with suggested prompts on the lines of make my email sound more professional or help me with an assignment. And what's particularly interesting to me is that unlike the competitor chat interfaces, Meta AI rolled out alongside integrations into most of Meta's family of apps, Facebook, Instagram, Messenger, and WhatsApp, instantly pushing mobile access to Meta AI to billions of users. What's your take, Robin? What do you think the uses or the implications are for marketers and agencies specifically?
I think this is a great idea. But just like every great idea, we hit some hiccups. And one of those hiccups right now is first of all, they're not ready for the load that they're carrying. Let's just be really honest. Also, everyone is questioning if they can trust it. And I know we have these conversations a lot, but how it's just like the ads back in the days with Meta. Remember, we all started seeing like these things pop up, and then all of a sudden it was just ads, and it was whoever was paying the most. How is that not going to be this new thing? It's not going to be trusted. It's going to be whoever pays the most. And I'm very worried about those small business companies who can't compete.
Yeah, and we're already seeing, to your point, pushback from users who are like, I didn't ask for this. I don't want this. How do I turn it off?
Well, it's like Threads. How can we turn it off? Make it turn. Oh, well, you can't now. So It's really interesting what they're doing. I think it could be very, very, very helpful if it's done morally and ethically correct. But we already know Meta's been in the hot seat several times for no morals or correction. So we'll see what's really about to come out.
We will see indeed. Now, one of the use cases we're seeing more and more with AI is to help create and change up content, from summarizing articles to determining the most engaging aspects of video or a podcast to clip out. But it begs the question, what should and shouldn't we automate? What are best practices when it comes to creating these kinds of derivative contents, and how can we save time while doing it? Well, that's exactly what Hani Mourra is going to talk to us about. Hani is a dad, husband, and a CEO and a founder of Repurposed.io, an easy-to-use automation tool that's helped hundreds of thousands of influencers, content creators, businesses, social media managers, and digital marketers maximize their exposure without spending hours publishing to multiple platforms. He's extremely passionate about creating automation tools to help content creators grow their online presence. Hey, Hani, great to have you here. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here.
So excited to see you on here. I know we got to chat a bit in person last summer in Toronto. That was fantastic. Glad to have you in the hot seat today. So let's start by talking more about what Repurpose does and why you started the company.
All right. So Repurpose is a automation tool designed to help content creators kind of post their content once to one platform, their favorite platform, their go-to platform, and have it automatically distribute out to all their other platforms without doing any extra work. So the focus of Repurpose is the automation piece. It's got other tools in there. You can do clipping, you can clip long form to short form, you can convert audios to videos, videos to audios. But the biggest use case, the biggest driver is the hands-free operation of being able to just post your content to your favorite platform and then automatically watch it go out everywhere else. And
Fantastic.
why I started
No,
is
no.
sorry,
Oh,
no
go
matter
ahead.
why I started it, it's honestly like it's like a dream tool. Like me being a lazy engineer kind of person saying, I wish I could just make the content once and put it out there. Why do I have to upload it to so many platforms or upload it to different tools? I just want to be able to post it and let it go everywhere. That's kind of always been my motto. I say lazy, efficient. I don't know. It's a loose term.
You can
This
do
is
either
better.
way.
I like that.
Yeah, I'm just going to do a quick shout out to Nancy Merlin, who's watching us live. She says, hello, Hani, great to see you. And hello to
Nancy.
myself and Robin. Robin, you have a question for Hani?
Yeah. Okay. So, Hani, I know we've talked about this, but can you please tell everybody, like, with these days with so much AI and automation, how can we start talking about incorporating the human touch, and where does that go? Where are creators more essential to this whole process?
Yes, that's a great question. I mean, I'll give you my personal take on it. Like the actual content of your video, let's say 80 to 90% of the time should be you, should be the person, should be like human to human interaction. Like the whole point of video, why video was popular ever since, well, YouTube and before YouTube, many, many years ago, is because you feel a connection with that person. So if you're using AI to simulate yourself or simulate other people talking, they might work in the short term, maybe for a couple of videos, but I feel like the authenticity is lost. You as a person, as a creator, whether it's you or someone in your company or your business, like it has to be a real person talking to another real person who's watching that video. I think for me, that's the number one priority for any piece of content, is that human to human connection. And definitely AI is there to help. AI's role in my books is to help you come up with maybe some idea generation, maybe help you script some of your content a little bit better, or format it, maybe helping you choose some clips. Like it's an assistant, not the main creation of your tool, of your content, I should say.
I like that approach. It's one we've talked about before on this show, on some of the other shows that I've done, of treating AI like a valuable assistant, sometimes even treating AI like an intern, someone who can help assist with some of those specific tasks, but they have to be trained. Robin, you're laughing.
It's so true. No, and I love that you just said it as an intern. It is there to assist you. It is not there to take over your job. It is there to assist you. And I think that's an executive assistant, an intern, whatever you would like to call it. Mike, that was the perfect wording. That's why I was laughing.
It's so true. It's so true. You can't rely on it 100%, but it gives you some guidance, some ideas. And sometimes when you're stuck in a rut and you don't know where to start, it kind of sparks that creative process a little bit. It gives you ideas, and then you roll with it and you make it yours.
100%. Now, I know repurpose.io does a lot of different things, but can you clarify the difference between repurpose and distribute or repost, and when a brand might use one or the other?
Yeah, like you said, like repurpose is almost like a Swiss Army knife. We talked about it a bit in the intro. You can do audio to video, video to audio, all kinds of reshaping, reformatting. So my definition of repurposing is taking a piece of content and changing its format, like transforming it from one piece to another. For example, you have a long video, you turn it into a short video clip that you can post on Reels or TikTok or Shorts. You have a video, you can turn into an audio podcast. Take video content, turn it into a blog post. Those are my definitions of repurposing. You're transforming that content. And of course, once you transform it, you want to distribute it to different platforms. So distribution is obviously, kind of what it says. You're pushing it out everywhere to all the platforms. But some people use the word repurposing, and it's more tied to reposting, but I feel it's equally or even more important, especially these days where short form content is kind of the biggest thing that's happening right now in terms of people's attention. So if you're creating short form videos, you can keep it super simple. Just take that short form video, post it to one platform, and then repurpose can push it out as it is. Essentially reposting it as it is to all 7, 8, 9, 10 of your other platforms. I know, I don't like the idea of reposting the same content on the same platform over and over again. I know some people do that. I'm not a big fan of it, but I feel reposting and redistributing your content that's living on one platform and never been posted on another it's critical. You want to be everywhere. You don't want your audience to come find you on one platform. You want to be on the platform they're already hanging out on.
I think that's so amazing. And I was actually talking to a dear friend about this yesterday, about there are so many channels out there. I feel like I have to go check everywhere. And so something that you're doing really streamlines that. What are the benefits of automating this distribution to like this level?
Yes. No, the biggest benefit our users have, it's always been like kind of like the mentality of when I created the software probably 8 years ago now, was don't change the creator's habits. You don't want to force the creator to say, okay, upload your content to my tool here, and then I'll push it out everywhere. What if you don't want to do that? What if you're on the road, you shoot a piece of content, especially nowadays with short form, you shoot it on TikTok. They have beautiful editing tools right on the TikTok app. Stick a couple text, video, whatever, and just post. Like, you just want to be able to post natively on that application, whether it's TikTok, whether it's Reels, whatever your favorite platform is. When you do that, and then we design Repurpose, so it takes the content from that platform automatically and pushes it out everywhere else. So you don't change your habits, but you also get just focus on your go-to platform and then have it go out everywhere else automatically. You don't even need to log into Repurpose to do that. You can have everything set up on autopilot, and it just happens within an hour of you posting on TikTok. It's going out, it's shooting out to X, to LinkedIn, to Pinterest, to YouTube Shorts, to Instagram Reels, without you having to even worry or think about it. That's the main advantage of the platform that we've developed. Like that approach of don't change your habits, focus on just do what you do, and we'll take care of the rest.
Which, who doesn't love that? Don't change my habits.
Right.
I don't need to learn anything else. I'm too old. I love that you're keeping people in there. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really important.
So walk us through what we would be doing here, because here with this show, this is filmed as a live webinar. Afterwards, I download the recording, I upload it to a Google Drive, which I think you can see, and then I'm personally going in and I'm taking a couple clips out. Like this afternoon, I'll take out this clip where we talked about Meta AI, and I'll manually do that. I use iMovie because I am not advanced at all in my editing skills, and then I'll push that out to TikTok and Instagram and so on if the clip is short enough. How would we insert Repurpose into this process?
Yeah. So with Repurpose, we don't connect directly with StreamYard, but if this is being streamed to, let's say, Facebook or YouTube, actually, then you can connect those platforms to Repurpose. And then you can make what we call a workflow, I call it a magic recipe that says every time there's a new video on, let's say, YouTube, I want you to send it over to Facebook or to whatever other platform you want to. So in this case, we don't want it to send it because we got to chop it up. So what we do is you make a YouTube workflow to, let's say, X. You want to send a clip to X. So you make that workflow. You go inside. You'll see all your videos appearing automatically inside Repurpose. Pick the one that you want. We have a quick editing tool that you can come in and chop it up really quick. That's something we're actually improving over the next few months, so that we use a little bit more AI to help you with that process. Right now it's manual, but coming soon it's going to be automated, where it would recommend the clips for you. But anyway, for now, you pick the clip, and then you can apply a nice template to it, and then schedule that piece of content to X. And you would do the same thing to all other platforms. So pulling it in from the different platforms is already a part of Repurpose itself. So that's taking the long form into short form. And a similar process if you were doing short form. If you're doing TikToks already, similar, probably hook up TikTok, you hook up Instagram, build a magic workflow, and every time you post on TikTok, in that case, because it's already a short form, you can have it automatically go to Instagram Reels without you even having to click any buttons. So we have kind of two modes of operation: manual and auto.
One other quick follow-up. So you mentioned you can see TikTok and Instagram. What is the list of platforms that your tool can see and then do an automated workflow after that there's a new piece of content there?
Yeah, great question. So we call them sources. So like a source is where you repurpose or distribute content from. We can go from YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels, an audio podcast. You can take an audio RSS feed, hook that up, and then we can turn them into little video clips as well. We have some templates pre-built, so you can do an audio feed, a video RSS if you're doing a video RSS feed, Zoom. You can do Zoom cloud recordings as a source, and I believe those are the main ones. right?
Just
And then
all of them.
it's all of them. The destinations. The other side of the thing is the destinations, right? So where do you send them to? You can go everywhere else. You can go to X, Snapchat, everything else I've listed as a source is also a destination. And then, Pinterest, Snapchat, X, LinkedIn, it's all your socials.
Fantastic. That's an amazing list. If you're just tuning in, we're talking with Hani Mourra about repurposing content for better social media activity and distribution. We've got a few more questions for Hani, but before we get to them, there's another way AI can help you with your social media marketing.
Hey there, Daryl Braille, Chief Marketing Officer here at Agorapulse, the industry's best social media management platform. I gotta tell you, I love AI. Why? I don't view it as a threat. Rather, it makes me better. It's a colleague. It's a collaborator. Let's say I do a social media post, but you know what? I'm a little long-winded. I want it shorter. Maybe I want it longer. Maybe I want it punchier, more assertive, more inspirational, more funny. That's what our writing assistant does. Check it out, agorapulse.com.
Awesome. So what best practices or advice can you offer us, Hani, when we're doing either repurposing and or distribution?
Yeah. So, I mean, if you're getting started with content, let's just talk about distribution. That's the simplest way. So if you're starting or you're doing short form videos, I mean, if you're just starting into creating content, highly recommend do short form video. Keep it simple, 30 seconds. The best practices is keep it under a minute. Ideally, if you can get into 30 seconds or under, even better. I'll explain why in a second, but keep it 30 to 60 seconds, shoot it vertical. And the main reason is it's literally compatible with every single platform. So you can make these short content videos. The attention span is there because the content is short. You post it on TikTok, for example, or Reels, and then you can have it go everywhere without any changes or anything to that content. So even YouTube Shorts, because YouTube Shorts right now is the limiting factor. 60 seconds or less is their limit. So if you keep it under 60, you're guaranteed to work on all the platforms. That's the simplest way to get started. Post a manual, use repurpose, whatever you want, but just make that content once and keep it 30 to 60 seconds. And the shorter, the better. I mean, what we find is, it's not, I think a lot of people notice already, is the percentage of the watch time of the video is one of the big factors that affect reach, like how much social media platforms push it out. So if you have a 1 minute video and people watch the first 10 seconds, that's a smaller percentage than a 10-second video where people watch for 10 seconds. That's obviously 100% watch time. So the shorter you are, the more likely to watch the whole thing. And when you watch the whole thing, then the algorithm says, oh, this is a good content. I'm going to show it to more people. The caveat is you don't want to just have some silly videos. Maybe you do once in a while, but you still want to deliver value in terms of education, information, or entertainment in that short video. So that's best practices for short form video. That's, like I said, if you're not creating or you're getting started, you start with short. That's the easiest way to get started. And then from long form video, we talked about taking an interview like this, or even customer calls that you may be having, or client calls that are not confidential, of course. Take them and turn them into again 30 to 60 second clips that are in vertical format, and have them go out to all your social media. So the end game is short form content is what's winning right now on all the platforms. They're all fighting for your attention, the shorts, the Reels, the TikToks. So whether you're creating short or you're taking long and you're chopping it up into 30-second to 60-second clips, that's the strategy you want to go with today.
Man, I couldn't agree anymore. Especially, we always say it's like how you can swipe your thumb, that pause right there. Mm-hmm. And so if you don't have me in that 10 seconds, if you're still going, I'm like, nope, next up, over. So it's like that sound bite. And I think this is the perfect way, to help out agencies, because I have to bring it back to our people. For agencies, how can agencies like Fifth and Core use this to managing so many social media accounts like you just talked about with different clients? What are the benefits from the platform like Repurpose? Like, what are the benefits to all the agencies?
Yeah, for agencies, we work with a lot of agencies, so they love it. It's a kind of a one-time setup. They connect the clients' accounts, the YouTubes, the TikToks, and then they can just manage it from one interface. So they can manage having it go on autopilot. If they want the content, if it's already short, they could have the content just shoot out automatically. Or if they want to control it and go in and schedule content on specific dates and times, they can do that as well. So it's all set up so that we even have a way to invite your clients to connect their socials without giving you your passwords. That's another important way, another important note. But the idea is that you have like almost like a place where you can manage all the content flow, or we call them workflows, from one place to the other for all your clients if you're an agency. And then if something does go wrong, you need to repost something, reschedule something, you kind of have one hub to manage it.
Terrific. And by the way, Robin, just so you know, Nancy Merlin, who's watching live, says you're definitely not too old. So now you've got a new best friend, right?
I'll send you a charm bracelet in the mail.
So, Hani, let's just be transparent for a second. Are there any negative impacts or risks associated with this level of automation? Is it a bad idea to be sending the same piece of content to every social platform at the same time?
No, and to be honest, like some people have, like clients have reached out to us where they're shocked. Like they see like, okay, I've reposted all my TikToks to YouTube Shorts, for example. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, I'm just all of a sudden getting a following there. I'm not saying that happens. It's not a guarantee, but by distributing your content, you're building your exposure on all these platforms. And sometimes what we've seen customers say, hey, this video, my original video on TikTok only got a couple thousand views. It went to Reels and it got whatever, a couple 100,000. So some content, the same content will perform a lot better, a lot differently, or obviously a lot worse as well on different platforms. So you don't know. Every algorithm, every platform has their own rules and how they feed that content to other people. So I mean, the one negative I would say is kind of, if you do get traction on other platforms, it can be a bit of a challenge to keep up, because back to the human aspect, right? You're posting content on all these platforms. You're using automation to put it out there. But if people are commenting on them and you're not responding, you're not engaging back, that's not good. That's not a good, human to human interaction. That's not good for your brand. So you need to be able to keep on top of the comments. And even if you just say thank you, just acknowledge that people comment on your content across all your platforms. And Agorapulse actually does a great way. We use Agorapulse ourselves to manage all our comments across all our platforms. And they have a great listening tool for that. So, that's, if you want to look at it as a negative, it's a good problem to have, but it can be overwhelming if you have, if you do have interaction and track. You got to keep bouncing back to different platform and reply back. It's again, back to the human aspect of it.
Hani, that's so great. I love that you said like so many little tiny bits of that. One, Agorapulse for sure, because once those comments start coming in, there is nothing. Social media doesn't sleep, and you need to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And so like being able to cluster them all together and have Agorapulse go in there, and then you can like start searching those, that really helps. And then being able to use this. And it's so weird. I think we talked about it 2 weeks ago, Mike, that some platforms are just different for different audiences. They just are attracted. So I love that you say, oh yeah, we put it on TikTok, but it went viral on Reels or YouTube Shorts. We actually have one doctor that we work with that his stuff just blows up on YouTube, nothing else. And so like being able to find out where your niche is, Pinterest for the videos. I love that can be like Repurpose can use that because it really does help. I know you kind of talked about this, but like what are some measurable results clients and brands can expect to see when they use this?
Yeah, I mean, expect is a hard. We cannot guarantee. I wish we knew how the algorithms work, and we do have contacts at the different platforms because we're a tool that integrates with their API, et cetera. But it's a big mystery. But we do have examples. Like I said, there's a couple examples. There's Andreas. I don't know his last name. I did pull up some actual numbers. There's a person that was named Andreas. He was posting from, I think it was TikTok or Reel, I can't remember, onto his Facebook Reels. Kind of like, because of the automation, sometimes people forget. It's funny. Like they come back and they say, oh, hey, by the way, I set up Repurpose to set up to Andreas, for example, posting to Reels, and I forgot about it. And a few months later, I logged in and I have a few 100,000 followers. I think he's at 500,000 followers. His videos are getting millions of views. Now he actually has over 5 million followers. This is, I don't know how many, maybe a year later from when he messaged us. Like, because of the automation, you almost forget. Like, it's a nice problem to have. So yeah, like sometimes they blow up. Facebook Reels, I guess a year ago, like the algorithms change all the time. So like we can't say guaranteed, but Facebook Reels was peaking at a certain point. Maybe he caught it in the right time. He got the traction. There's Dr. Allo. He said, he went from obscurity, that's the words you use, my obscurity to 5.5 million views a month by just taking his TikToks across, I think, 5 or 6 platforms. Again, on autopilot. And then Jason, he took a reel, went to TikTok, and then the TikTok did okay. I can't remember exactly, but then the reel had over 2 million views. I think the most recent one was Declan from My Jotbot. And again, same thing. We've been using it for a while, kind of forgot about it. I reposted a TikTok to Shorts, and it got over 1.9 million views. And this was 4 weeks ago, so it's probably even higher now. So it's, again, I don't want to get the impression, hey, use repurpose and you're going to go viral. That's absolutely not what I'm saying. I'm saying is you don't know how every platform will react to your content. So you want to get it out to as many platforms as possible. And one thing I didn't mention was with repurpose, it's not only your new content. So if you don't have any presence on, let's say, YouTube Shorts, but you've been doing TikToks for 2 years, so you have a library of 1,000 videos, you can set it up so it drips out 1 TikTok video per day to your YouTube channel at 9 o'clock every day, or between 9 and 11, like a certain time window. So you're slowly feeding your existing content. Again, on autopilot, you set it up once and you leave it, you start building your other channels slowly. You're obviously not going to upload 1,000 TikToks to YouTube in one day. That's not good. So we do have that mechanism to drip feed your existing library. And that's what people do. They have, when they're moving from one platform, it's not say moving, when they're trying to start fresh on a new platform, but they already have a library, you're not even making new content. You're just taking that content, set up that workflow, turn it to auto, say publish 1 video per day, and then move on with your day.
Honey, that is huge. We've got a lot of people that are really concerned right now because the Senate just passed legislation as of the time of this recording.
Yes.
Supposedly ban TikTok in the United States within the next year. They're going to be challenged legally, so the time frame is not what you think it is, but Biden's going to sign that into law tonight. And so TikTokers are rightly frightened that all the time that they've spent creating a TikTok audience and all this content is all for naught. So you're saying, hey, hook up repurpose.io and you can start dripping, maybe a little faster than 1 per day, but you can start pushing all that video content out to Facebook Reels, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, if they're short enough. Remember, folks, be under 60 seconds today for YouTube Shorts. That's incredible.
Yeah. And not only that, we also have a Google Drive and Dropbox, so you can back up all your TikToks onto your own Google Drive or Dropbox. That way you have a complete backup of your entire library, especially nowadays with if this goes through in the next few months. You don't want to be like, oh, I can't even access my own content is gone. You have a high quality video, watermark free on your Google Drive, yours to manually do whatever you want with it. You own it. So a lot of people actually use that to back up their content from TikTok, from Instagram, from YouTube. Again, TikTok can get banned. Maybe YouTube doesn't like your content and you get flagged. You want used your content. You created it. You want to have it. So a lot of people use repurpose on top of distribution as a backup tool as well.
That's huge. And I knew you had Google Drive integration. Is that destination only, or is that also a source?
It's both. So you can drop in a file in Google Drive and then say, hey, take this video from Google Drive from this specific folder, shoot it out to this platform or that platform, or vice versa. You can say, take my TikToks, back them all up to this folder on Google Drive or Dropbox. So yeah, it works both ways.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
I was gonna say, you really are the Swiss Army knife. I love it. Like, you said that, I've been waiting to reuse that line. I was gonna steal it for myself, but like, you really are, to know, like, you can go onto Google, like, everyone should just go back and watch this and say, okay, great, I need to start driving all of that content, because you can get locked out of your YouTube account. How many times does that happen? How many times does Facebook lock businesses out? And we spend 6 months fighting with Facebook and to get them back, or Meta, whatever they want to be called. And with this news, my phone is blowing up. I was like, what is happening right now? And everyone is sending me the same article. It just happened while we're on here. Wow. But yeah, no, this is great, honey, just to know that it could go both ways for your Google Drive. For us, that's a solution. For all of our clients, that's a solution right there.
Yeah, I mean, just that alone is worth it. It's
we
so
don't
valuable.
All the other stuff, but
yeah, exactly. That's just that one piece. Get that set up, and not only can you back up your entire library, then going forward, every time you post a TikTok, it's going to get backed up. So you don't have to like keep backing up. It just automatically back up all my existing content plus anything going forward.
That's amazing. And we really can't appreciate that enough. I think if people are going to go back and watch this, I'm going to say this as Mike comes back on. I'm sure he just had an internet issue, but as people are watching this, go back and listen to what Hani said. Break apart this video. You're going to listen to it one time. You're going to be like, whoa, that's great. Go back and listen to it a second time. And I want to say this, it's because you really, as a business owner, as an agency, we've seen the greatest things. People get adopted. We're seeing a lot of companies come and buy out people as well. And so they need all of that video content. They need to move it over to another channel. So if private equity is coming, if you're ever looking at selling your business or getting investments, this is a great solution to be able to go after, repurpose, get that goal back up, but then also be able to distribute it a different way. Maybe start a new product like we are, and you get to actually be able to use this across different channels. The other thing is using those old videos. And I want to go back to that. Use your old content. It hits differently. If I use a different workout, it goes back and you just start doing something totally different. You get the better results. And so that is pretty powerful that you said that. So I really appreciate you sharing that. Real quick, Hani, tell us every single place people can find you, LinkedIn, email. How do we get a hold of you?
Yeah, I mean, we're everywhere. Obviously, we have to be. That's what we do. We're in the business of being everywhere. So we're at Repurpose pretty much everywhere. Say Twitter, Pinterest, Snapchat, even YouTube, Facebook. We're everywhere, and we're at Repurpose.io. Sorry, not at Repurpose.io is our tags on all the socials.
Perfect. And if someone wants to connect with you, please connect with him on LinkedIn. Be able to go ahead and put all of those things together. But Hani, thank you so much for being able to do this with us. I appreciate everything that you were able to share with us. Again, looking forward to seeing you really soon and being able to use this with our team. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the MarTech Show, hosted by Robin Dimond and Mike Allton, powered by Agorapulse, the #1 rated social media management solution, which you can learn more about at agorapulse.com. If you want to make sure you're part of our audience during live weekly broadcasts, take a look at our calendar at agorapulse.com/calendar, or click the subscribe button in your email once you register for any of these events. Is there a particular tool or topic you'd like to see us talk about? Or perhaps you think your solution should be featured? Email me at mike@agorapulse.com.
You may know you're listening to this show along the Marketing Podcast Network, but did you know there are other great shows on MPN to help your business? Christy Heiler hosts a fantastic podcast called Own It. Christy, tell us more about the show.
Own It is all about celebrating women and non-binary advertising agency owners. We talk about buying out of the Boys Club of Advertising because less than 1% of ad agencies are owned by women.
And where can people subscribe?
You can find the podcast at untilyouownit.com. We're also on the Marketing Podcast Network at marketingpodcast.net. And of course, you can subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
You heard her. Go subscribe. This podcast is heard along the Marketing Podcast Network. For more great marketing podcasts, visit marketingpodcasts.net.